Yeah, first of all, I just want to congratulate Kendall Grover on being the national NFCA National Player of the Week. Thought that was a tremendous accomplishment for her in her senior year, and obviously had a really good week for us. So I thought today was good. I mean, I always. These are challenges playing after an off day. So, yesterday we didn't practice where players are really responsible for themselves. And so sometimes we're really good and sometimes we're, just okay. I thought today we were better than just okay, but, not perfect, but really I thought Keegan pitched, well enough to win defensively behind her. She made some really good pitches when she needed to. And then we made some really good plays for her as well. And then a couple nice, I think really nice hits with 2 RBIs each. So good, but not great. But I thought, again, sometimes it's what we expect.
You mentioned yesterday's off day. This was the team's 13th game in 11 days, and you guys have 6 more left this week. What is the team doing to keep consistent and make sure they're not getting too worn out over the top of the season?
I'm not worried about that. I think that, they lift weights. We have players that, still lift weights on game days and stuff. So I think it's the nature of what we do right now in this part of the season. It's pretty easy to get up and go do your thing when you're whatever our record is, 13-0, and you got players hitting really well with their batting averages, and we go up and down the lineup. So I think getting up and doing what we do every day is pretty easy. And then I manage the bodies, manage Ava, and keep them, not always standing out there and running out there and warming up extra and doing things unnecessary. So I think it's just being able to get a good feel for it.
Yeah, Tim, obviously Townsend Thomas, 2-hit game tonight. What can you say about just the way she's kind of slowly starting to develop further along the way in the year?
Yeah, I mean, I already talked about Kendall to open up. She was batting in the middle of our lineup, really since October, and what she was performing like last weekend wasn't really what we saw. She was way better than that. And then this week, boom, here we go. We see a little bit more of that. Kind of the same thing with Townsend. Townsend's taken a little bit longer. And whether it's nerves, whether it's anxiety, whether it's, the other team practices too. So maybe they were just getting her out. But I just felt like she was a little bit, uncharacteristically anxious. And so now you're seeing her being a little bit more patient. You're seeing the more line drives again. She's strong. I mean, she's a strong athlete. So I think she's just starting to get comfortable for sure.
Coach, you guys are 13-0. Everything's looking great so far. What do you think the team needs to improve going into the season? Any places where it seemed like you guys were lacking a little bit so far?
Well, I think, for me, that's something that I trend is that, we had a 4-pitch walk today. Next batter gets 2-0 and gets out. The other day we had an 8-pitch, two batters, so 8 pitches in a row ball. Girl comes up, swings at the first pitch. Just making silly outs. And again, I know, it's easy. If she would have hit a home run, you go, oh, great job. She really did it. But I think if you're hitting a home run, you're hitting a home run because the pitch is exactly the pitch you wanted. But when a pitcher wants to walk people or when he doesn't want to throw strikes, we have a tendency, in my opinion, we just kind of throw away some swings here or there. We've done that a bunch. I call them, plus count outs. We have a lot of plus count outs. We had a bunch tonight again, and we had a bunch this weekend. So I think we just have to get a little bit better. Do we need to do a little bit better job of understanding and get a feel? 4-pitch walk. She walked the first 2 hitters in front of me. If I'm going to swing, it's going to be a pitch that I know I'm going to drive a ball in the gap, or I know I'm going to hit the ball hard. And I think at times we still have hitters that are just trying to swing as opposed to being a little bit more purposeful and understanding how to be aggressively disciplined, like learning that, hey, it's not this aggressiveness, it's being able to just narrow the focus a little bit more on pitches that I'm really good at.
Kelsey's been with the program now for 3 years. Obviously, the outfield spot opened up for her now. How has she stepped into that role?
Yeah, well, I think, number one, she didn't step into that, and she earned it. She showed me really good progress the last 2 seasons as a freshman and sophomore. She got hurt, but she's earned what she's getting. So she's not just, it's kind of a next man up type of mentality. But, when we ended the season, it was really about, hey, you're ready. You're ready for this role. And, so I think she's done a really good job of being able to embrace it. But she earned it. She works really hard. She's got a good throwing arm. She's a good athlete. She can hit. It's not easy to hit a ball, to the opposite field like that with that much juice, and the ball's coming off the bat at 70-plus miles an hour. So she does a really good job. She's got tons of power. As she gets more confident, as she becomes a little bit better, I think you're going to see her, start getting hits against All-American pitchers too. And I think that's the next step for her.
Coach, your infield, it's been great. They're a super versatile group. You have girls that can play shortstop, second base, third base. How great is it just to have such a reliable infield? And you know you can always count on them.
Yeah, it's been good. I think when you say that, one of the things you got to do is just go. And Gabby Camilla's having a really good sophomore year. It's easy to, I tell our athletes all the time, hey, I don't write articles about you guys. Like, that's not my job. My job is to put you guys out there, train you, and help you get there. But, the early season success that we've had has a lot to do with number 10, defensively and offensively. I mean, she's really done a good job with the bat. She got the spark going again for us tonight. I think got the base hit before Townsend ended up hitting the double. So she's done a really good job. You can see her out there looking and getting the defenses that we're playing and running and the coverages and stuff. But been really happy with the way she's really handled it, and then that helps Kenley be better, Kendall be better. Madison and Ava on the other side, or Jocelyn if they go out there, and then Callie when she jumps into the game, and G. So I think we've done a good job of being able to train them to do that. But every week I have a check-in with the infield. All right, tell me what you like, tell me what you don't like, and then I get to do the same. Hey, I really like the way we did this, but we got to do a better job of communicating, especially communicating to people with their backs to you. What I mean by that is if they're out getting a ball from the outfield to throw to home plate, we've got to be able to talk to them so they can feel comfortable cutting balls, moving around balls, redirecting balls. So I think we've done it. We're getting better. We're not there yet, but we're getting better. Okay, thanks, guys. Go Gators.